There are now 72 tracks and quite a few changes to the game of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and we still have 3 waves on the way in 2023. So in this video, I'm going to predict which tracks are going to make it into wave 4 of the Booster Course Pass. Additionally, before closing out the video, I'm going to predict any changes that could be made to the game. Because what we saw when Wave 3 was released, I believe anything is possible. So without further ado, let's start giving her bud. Also, just a quick disclaimer, I don't really know much about which tracks are leaked for each wave in 2023, so I'd really appreciate it if you guys could refrain from commenting on the leaked Wave 4 tracks. Starting things off, we got the Fruit Cup. I predict that we're going to see Amsterdam Drift from Mario Kart Tour, Daisy Cruiser from Mario Kart Double Dash, Shy Guy Bazaar from Mario Kart 7, and Luigi's Mansion from Mario Kart DS. Now, when it comes to the tour tracks, it's no secret that every city track is coming to this game. It's just a matter of when. But I think Amsterdam Drift is a fair bet to come in this wave. Now, although I've never played this track before, I can see how this track has a lot of fun variety in each of its variants. Amsterdam Drift 1 takes you into a tunnel that spits you out into a Moo Moo Meadows-like section. Amsterdam Drift 2 primarily takes place underwater with some really cool updrafts, including one on the split path that lands you on a boat. And Amsterdam Drift 3 is sort of a mix of everything, including a beautiful flower garden section with a bunch of piranha plants. Now, I don't want to jinx it, but if you put it all together, this track could be on par with or even better than Sydney's Sprint, which I think is the best city track in the Booster Course Pass so far, and I think most people will agree with me on that. Even though I have yet to play it, this track looks really fun and could make for some intense races. It'll come out in 2023 regardless, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Nintendo does to make this track stand out each lap. When it comes to Daisy Cruiser, I've always thought it was just alright in Double Dash in Mario Kart 7. The table section and the split path are pretty cool, but nothing really stands out to me. I don't expect this to change in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but if it does, it will be awesome. It's not likely, but just hear me out. Now that Nintendo is implementing anti-gravity into some of the tracks, imagine if the inside of the cruise ship was an anti-gravity. I know it doesn't really make sense, but you never know what could happen. I think it would be really cool if the moving tables acted as spin boosters. Given their potential speed, you might not even see it coming, but you won't complain about the boost by any means. Besides, it would really help with the pace of the track. Coming to damn near a complete stop because of the tables, even if it's not likely, can be really annoying. I don't think this change will happen, but it's just some food for thought. In any case, I think Daisy Cruiser will probably turn out just alright, at least in my opinion. Shy Guy Bazaar is a really cool track, and I think it would function the best in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. My big hope is that they don't nerf the jars like they did with the leaf piles of Maple Treeway. My point is that I want to be able to get that ground star from the jar. Other than that, I think this track will look absolutely stunning in this game. We've seen the graphical improvement in the Booster Course Pass tracks from Wave 1 to Wave 3, and I think Shy Guy Bazaar will be treated very well in this respect. Mechanically, I think the moment you get to the S-turn, the track will be really fun in this game. You're chaining multiple super or even ultra mini turbos, leading into multiple tricks, a gliding section, and multiple tricks on the final straight too. Hell, even the beginning isn't too bad. That's about all I have for Shy Guy Bazaar. I don't think it'll change much from previous iterations, but I do believe it will work really well in this game. Rounding out the Fruit Cup, we have the iconic Luigi's Mansion from Mario Kart DS. I think Nintendo did a great job implementing the Mario Kart 7 mechanics into this track with the 2 gliding sections, and I have no doubt they'll do the same in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Again, this is probably unlikely, but I gotta bring up anti-gravity here. There are 2 sections where it could be really cool for it to be implemented. First, and probably the more likely one, the mansion. I think the entire mansion section of the track could be transformed with anti-gravity, and it would be a very pleasant change. I know Nintendo hasn't really gone above and beyond with any Booster Course Pass track, but you never know. In any case, your boy can dream. Now, secondly, the mud section. This is probably not gonna happen, and fair enough, but again, your boy can dream. Nintendo could even change the properties of the walking trees, either making them faster or moving completely differently, or even acting as spin boosters. Both scenarios are pretty unlikely, and they don't need to happen by any means. I'm just throwing things out there because changes like these would make these tracks phenomenal and really stand out from their previous iterations. Even if it's just a direct port though, I think anyone can get behind Luigi's Mansion. It's a great track overall. Moving on to the Boomerang Cup, I predict that we're going to see Singapore Speedway from Mario Kart Tour, Riverside Park from Mario Kart Super Circuit, Moonview Highway from Mario Kart Wii, and a brand new track for both 8 Deluxe and Tour. I won't go into detail on what the new track could be because let's be honest, it could be anything. Alright, I know that Vancouver Velocity is being hyped up as the best Mario Kart Tour track, and even though I've never played Singapore Speedway, I can already tell that this will be the best city track so far. I'm calling it. Simple as that. Even for only having 2 variants, I can see how Nintendo can take advantage of combining them in the best way possible. Specifically, I really hope we get to play Singapore Speedway 2 regularly and in reverse, or at least enough to the point where we can utilize the conveyor belts in both directions, because that would be pretty awesome. Now, obviously, we'll see what happens, but this track looks like it's going to be really fun to drive and will look sensational in this game, no question about it. And this again goes back to how Nintendo is starting to really up their game with the graphics on the Booster Course Pass tracks. It just looks like a really fun track all around, so I'm looking forward to seeing how Nintendo puts the 2 variants together. Alright, if my predictions are right, this will probably be the best cup in the game, because after seeing Riverside Park's glow up in Mario Kart Tour, I really hope this track is added. Nintendo just does such a great job at blessing up the Super Circuit tracks, and it really shows here. I mean, hell, it almost looks like an adventure throughout the entire course, and that's awesome. I think this will definitely be one of those short, but very, very sweet tracks. My favorite part about this track has to be the cave section, and in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it would be awesome to see this section in anti-gravity. Either way, I'm sure this section will remain great, but I can't lie, I'll be really looking forward to this track if it's coming at some point this year. Even though, as you can clearly see, it looks like a tour track, I trust Nintendo to give this track the visual blessing it deserves in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I really hope this track comes out. In every wave so far, there's always at least one track that isn't in or hasn't yet been added to Mario Kart Tour. I think that track in this wave will be Moonview Highway from Mario Kart Wii. This track is a roller coaster from start to finish, and I think could be a great addition to the game. I think the tense beginning leading into the abundance of boost panels would work really well in this game and could become a fan favorite pretty quickly, despite it being a car track. As much as we already have 3 car tracks in this game, I just really want to see Moonview Highway, man. I'm a sucker for Mario Kart Wii tracks, so I hope we keep getting 1 Wii track per wave. I did grow up with the game. It was my first Mario Kart game, my first Mario game as a matter of fact, so it's always awesome playing them on the game I'm best at. So yeah, this is my prediction for the unexpected track in the wave, if you will. Now, before closing out the video, here are 2 predictions on what Nintendo could do to change the game upon the release of Wave 4. First off, I think the respawn boost would be a great mechanic to bring back. I know the respawn time is much faster than in previous iterations, where it made sense to have the respawn boost, but this would help increase the pace of the game, which would be fantastic. Speaking of increasing the pace, my second prediction is that if you have 2 items, you'll be able to swap their positions like in Double Dash. Now, I've heard mixed opinions on this. I agree, it could break the game competitively, but you cannot deny that it will make the game infinitely more enjoyable. Think about when you pull a golden mushroom behind a bullet bill as you are right before a bill extension. Like, that's a slap in the face. Or if you pull a piranha plant before triple shrooms at the last set of piranha plant slide. Being able to swap item positions would not only increase the pace of the game, but would make it more enjoyable and introduce a new layer of strategy that, in my opinion, would be for the better. Now, I'm not sure how likely these 2 changes are to come to fruition, but I think both would be great additions to the game. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you think will come in Wave 4 in the comment section below. Now that anything can happen regarding this game, I think we'll be in for a really fun 2023. So with that said, until next time, thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and keep on giving her, bud.